Hi everyone, this is JT and we're back with Fun Maths. Today we're going to be looking at a topic called constant difference with whole numbers. Constant difference is used when we have a question that has one or more thing inside it and they change by an equal amount. However, the difference between the things is always the same whether before or after the change. One common example of constant difference with whole numbers is age differences. Because when one person ages, another person also ages, so their difference will always be constant. So now let's get to our first question. Mr. Lim is twice as old as his son. Given that he is 24 years older than his son, how many years ago was Mr. Lim 4 times as old as his son? As you can see, this is an age question. So let's get started by drawing a model. So now we can draw Mr. Lim as 3 units. While we can draw his son as 1 unit. And the difference between them is 24. So from over here, we can tell that 2 units is 24. And 1 unit is 24 divided by 2, which is 12. And this 1 unit is actually also equal to his son's age now. So 12 years old is his son's age. Okay, so now let's go to some time ago. Mr. Lim was 4 times as old as his son. So we will draw Mr. Lim as 4 units. 4 parts. And we'll draw his son as 1 part. The difference between them is always the same, whether now or some time ago. So over here, the difference is also 24. So from here, we can tell that 3p equals to 24 and 1p equals to 24 divided by 3, which is 8. 1p is also his son's age. So his son was 8 years old some time ago. So now we want to find out the difference between these 2 times. So now his son is 12 years old. Some time ago, his son was 8 years old. So now we know that the difference between these 2 times is 4 years. So from now, it is 4 years ago that Mr. Lim is 4 times as old as his son. So now let's look at the second example. Tom had twice as many sweets as Ben at first. After they each bought an equal number of sweets, Ben had 32 sweets and Tom had twice as many sweets as Ben. Find the number of sweets Tom had at first. So now we'll be drawing another model. At first, Tom had 3 units because he had twice as many sweets as Ben. And Ben only had 1 unit. So over here, we cannot continue because we do not know the difference between them, and hence we also have no other information, and hence we cannot find out 1 unit and we cannot find out how much Tom had at first. So let's continue on. After they had bought some sweets, Tom had twice as many sweets as Ben. So he had 2 parts. And Ben only had 1 part. The difference between Ben had 32 sweets. So we can tell that 1p is 32. And this is also the difference between them. This 1p over here, which is also this. So we know that 32 is the difference between them. Since they bought an equal number of sweets, the difference between them after and the difference between them at first is actually the same. So over here, we know that the difference is 32. So now we know that 2 units is equal to 32, and 1 unit is equal to 32 divided by 2, which is 16. Now we want to find out how many sweets Tom had at first. Tom had 3 units, so we do 16 times 3, which is 48. So Tom had 48 sweets at first. I hope that these 2 questions has led you to understand more about constant difference and some examples of constant difference when they are used in a question. Until next time, I hope that you have fun in math. This is JT signing out.